Hey, Vimo, how are you
Hey, what's
doing?
up? Good, good.
So, Vimo, last time I came and talked to you, after that call, I saw the video,
Hmm.
and you had some callers coming in and basically not being generous. And I heard you being ungenerous as well. So I was disappointed by that because I
Okay.
think that this
I
should
think
be
what
a
happened was that
rational discourse.
some people came and talked about you. I encouraged them to not talk about the previous caller. And I think what I said about you was that whenever someone tries to use jargon in a conversation, my red flags go up. I may not have put it in as generous a manner as you would have preferred, but if that hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it didn't hurt my feelings, but what it tells me is that you think of scholarly discourse as jargon, which you
No,
could
I
apply
think
to
of
any
jargon as
discourse.
jargon. I think of jargon as jargon. Scholarly discourse
Okay,
can be had without jargon.
okay, let's. What is the topic for today?
There is no topic. Go wild.
There's no. Okay, so I'm listening to some of your videos, and
Hmm.
it seems like you've said things like Hinduism. You use the word
Hmm.
Hinduism,
Hmm.
and it is oppressive. Is that correct?
I don't know which video you're referring to, but that would seem to summarize my general impression of Hinduism along with many other religions.
I see. So Buddhism is not oppressive, is that correct?
Have I ever said that?
No, you mentioned that people
If
leave
I say
Hinduism
that
to do
religion A
something
is
else.
oppressive, am I
Uh-huh.
saying anything about any other religion?
No, no. If you go from one oppression to another, what's the rationality in that? Because you said that that's rational, that you go from oppressive
I never
religion
said
to
it
an
was rational.
unoppressive.
I said that people converting from Hinduism to Buddhism is does not have anything to do with rationality because it is a decision based on socially discriminatory practices that people wish to escape from. If a person is
I see.
suffering inhuman if a person is suffering from inhuman abuse in Hinduism, then it is rational to want to leave the religion. Don't you
I
think?
see. So I agree with you. But I think the question I have is like when you say inhuman abuse in Hinduism,
Hmm.
you're associating inhuman abuse with the religion of whatever religion you think is Hinduism. Is that correct?
I think that is what the sentence meant. Yes.
Yes. What is your definition of Hinduism?
It's a religion.
What is a religion?
If we are going to start talking about basic dictionary terms, this conversation is going to be very long. Let us
No, no,
assume you
it's
know
not.
what religion means.
No, I'll tell you what religion means. Religion comes
Go
from the
on.
Latin religare. Religare is to bind to the word and to
Are you going to?
restate.
Okay, listen.
No,
I'll save you time. Are you going to?
listen.
Are you going to make the argument that there's a difference between religion and dharma? Because I've heard it thousands of times.
No, no, there is a difference between dharma. What is the argument you heard? Let me ask you.
My argument is that in Sarkari forms, when I go fill it in, it says Hinduism, Islam, Christianity. It is a religion. Making all these philosophical descriptions or definitions of things that root from some esoteric text is not practical because on the ground level, if I go out and ask someone what is Hinduism, they will tell me it is a religion. That's
I
all.
see. So you think that on the ground level, people are rational and people make sense. That's good.
I think
So
if a
now,
no,
uh,
listen. There
yeah,
seems to be a tendency in what you're going. You are putting words in my mouth with every sentence you speak, and I do not like it. So what you're going to do right now is that when I say something, you're going to take it the way I have said it. When I say that a person wanting to leave a religion because that religion is oppressive to them is rational, you know exactly what I mean. You don't need to open a dictionary to find out the meaning of every word. So let's
okay.
talk like
Let
adults.
let's talk like you. Let's talk like children, right? Because I think
Let's
scholarly
talk like
argument doesn't
adults.
make
Let's
sense.
talk like
Okay,
adults.
okay.
What you were
Let's talk
doing
like
till now was not talking
yeah.
like adults.
Well, that's your opinion, right? Let's talk about oppression. So, do you think that say Christianity or Islam are oppressive?
Yes.
Okay, so leaving Christianity and Islam is a sign that you're leaving oppression.
Yes. Not
I
always.
see.
People leave religions for different reasons.
Do you
People
think
can leave
Buddhism is
Christianity.
also? Hmm.
Listen, people can leave Christianity for reasons other than oppression. People can leave Islam for reasons other than oppression. If someone goes from Islam to Hinduism, maybe they found the theology better to and to their liking.
I see.
I'm
So,
saying
so
the
when
decision
when
that
be,
these people, the video that you saw had to do
hmm,
with a specific instance of 10,000 people in the national capital of India converting to Buddhism because statedly, they wish to leave the religion that calls them, that considers them inhuman.
Got it. So you think that, so do you agree with that point of view that the
Yeah.
religion of Hinduism considers them inhuman?
Yes.
I see. Do you agree with the thought that the religion of Islam considers non-Muslims inhuman?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I think we are on the same page. I don't
What
have any
page did you
problem
think
with,
if I can just
yeah,
enter, like, just
yeah,
humor me for a second. What page did you think
right.
I was on?
Because I don't hear you talking about Islam and Christianity and what they have done. And I
The
think that
reason for
that is a
that is
little
that
bit odd.
India is a Hindu majority country. If you go to an atheist live stream in America, you will find them talking about Christianity. If you go to an atheist live stream in Pakistan, you'll find them talking about Islam. When people
Okay.
come to them, they ask them the same questions. Why are you not talking about Islam and Hinduism? The reason is the same always. Religions that are in power are more dangerous than religions that are not in power in any given political context. In the Indian political context, that tends to be Hinduism. We
Okay.
have a
I
Hindutva political party in power right now, and they are fucking up a lot of shit. Therefore, it is important to talk about them. Go
Okay,
on.
I think that's fine. I would not agree with you on one point. I mean, I generally agree with you, but I would not agree with you on one point, which is that Islam is not a minority. I mean, Islam in many parts of
In India,
India
it is. In
is
India,
no,
it
in many
is.
parts of India it is a majority. Kashmir it's a
No, no, no. We are not
majority.
looking at India's party. तो वैसे तो भागलपुर के किसी शहर के भागलपुर के पास के किसी शहर के छोटे से मोहल्ले में you can find a building where there are four Muslims and one Hindu. That does not make Islam a majority.
No, no,
We are
but
talking about
what
the
at
national
what point
context
does
of
it?
India.
No, but what point does it? Right? Like, is it a 50%? Is it 25%? Is it what is your?
It is.
I
It
mean,
has to do with political power and numbers, obviously. You cannot if there are two religions in a country and one religion is 51% also, it is still a majority. We are not talking about percentages, we are talking about political power. And that political power and the distinction in the political power is visible very plainly when Hindu people make hate speeches, Hindu seers even make hate speeches, and nothing happens to them. And Muslims give a speech about the importance of unity, someone like Omar Khalid, and he's sent to jail for years with no trial.
Umar
That is what
Khalid is
I'm
a
talking about.
communist, right? But Umar Khalid isn't even a religious.
Irrelevant.
Yeah,
Communism is
no,
not illegal in India.
it has nothing to do with religion, though, right? Umar Khalid
Omar
being in
Khalid,
jail is
yeah, of
because of
course it
his
does.
insurrection
Listen, listen,
causes, right?
listen. You came here to talk about a certain point. I was giving you an example. We are not talking about Omar Khalid. Get to your next point.
Okay. What questions do you have about the previous speaker and the idea of non-dual? I think you were discussing non-duality. Do you have any doubts about what consciousness or experience or non-duality or brain looking like consciousness, those kinds of things that you were discussing just before?
That
Did you have
question,
any
that
questions?
I will talk to the previous caller when he returns.
No, that's fine. But do you have any questions about that, about non-duality? Because that was our topic last time. Do you have any questions on that?
If you want to talk about non-duality, talk about it. Don't bring the previous caller into it. When they return, I will talk to them.
Do you have any questions about, because last time I left, you said I was using jargon. Let's try again.
Yeah.
What
No, that's
questions do you
because you
have?
started with conversations like ontological primary and stuff. I was saying this is a live stream. A lot of people are watching it. If you want to make a point, make it in as simple a way as
Okay.
you can.
Oh yeah, I thought your audience was that type of audience. I apologize. Tell me what did you not what are the things that you have questions about our last conversation about non-duality? What are your
I don't
what
even
will
remember our
convince
last
you?
conversation, dude. Why don't you make an actual argument instead of asking me if
I
I
see.
have questions about something that I don't even remember?
No, I asked you because you created a separate video clip just for that conversation. So I assumed that it was something significant in your mind.
Still
Um,
don't remember it.
well, you're only creating 2 or 3 videos a week, but you don't remember the 2 or 3 videos that you are clipping out.
I
So
run
it's
4
a,
YouTube
I don't
channels,
know.
one podcast, and an Instagram handle.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So so I have no other topics. If you have, and if, I think what might be useful is you and I talk about non-duality in more detail as a separate standalone discussion, because that way we can go back and forth and have a debate, and we can have a
Sure, let's
scholarly
have that
debate or
discussion. Let's have
whatever
that
debate you
discussion.
would like. Yeah,
Let us have
sounds
that
good.
discussion. Yeah.
Sounds good. I will post a comment in your video, and you can connect with me over there.
I'm not okay. I don't know what you mean. I was talking about right now.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have any questions, right? Well, let me ask you some questions. You're a materialist, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, where does matter come from?
Where does matter come from? We have some
Mhm.
conclusions about where matter comes from. The Big Bang is a thing that happened, and now there is matter in the universe. That's our
Where does
best.
why did the Big Bang happen?
I don't know. Nobody knows, I think.
Nobody knows. So the reason why Big Bang happened was, it's like your origin story, right? This is the origin of the universe.
Are you saying the Big Bang did not happen, or are you saying you know how the Big Bang happened?
Do you? No, no. I don't know if the Big Bang happened or not. It's not been proven beyond doubt. But the question I
So
have for you is that
my
we don't know
understanding
how
of the
the
Big
Big Bang
Bang is
happened.
that understanding of the Big Bang is that it is the most widely accepted scientific consensus among scientists who study that sort
Uh,
of thing.
yeah, yeah. But if you look at the Big Bang and the actual mathematics of the Big Bang, what do you
Hmm.
get at the beginning? You get a singularity.
Chinmay, are
So,
you a physicist?
yes,
Okay, in what area? Like, do you study, teach, what?
Einstein's theory of relativity, quantum mechanics. I have studied physics.
You have studied physics, as in you have undergone a proper professional degree from
What
where?
difference does it make? Whether what I've done, I
Because
don't want to
the
disclose
internet is
private
full of
information.
people who have read two books about by Deepak Chopra and think that they're quantum physicists.
But if
I'm
you
asking
haven't
if you
even
have
read
had
those
proper
two,
education. Have you had a
let me tell
proper
you, I have a Ivy League education. Don't worry about that. Let me
in
ask
what
you
field,
something.
sir? In what field?
In I don't need to tell you in what field, because I don't know your
Is your
qualifications to
okay, let
talk
me put
about
it as simply as I
materialism, right?
can. Is your
Yeah.
Ivy League education in physics?
No, it's not in physics. So what?
Okay,
Is
so
your
then you're
Ivy League
not
education in
physicist.
physics? No, are you a
Then you're not a
physicist?
physicist.
No, are you a physicist?
No, I'm not. I'm saying if
Then
you are going
then
to give me
how are you a
opinions about the Big
materialist?
Bang, what?
How do you know that the Big Bang is true if you're not a physicist? You still know
Because
that,
I've
right?
read
Because of your research.
because I've read books by physicists who have actually studied the Big Bang.
Correct. So you also read books, and I've also read books. So we are on the same page.
No, we are not, because you are actually making positive claims that go against their findings.
No,
I
no,
am
I'm not
not.
making any claims at all. I'm
I'm saying
asking
I have read
questions.
books by scientists and they have come to
Uh-huh.
this conclusion and they
No,
all seem to have a consensus about it, and that is what I'm basing my materialism on. You are saying
okay.
you go against that consensus and you need to be taken seriously despite the fact that a majority of scientists don't agree with that.
What happens in the scientist viewpoint that you've read at the beginning of the Big Bang? Just answer that question.
They don't know, but
Simple.
you seem to know. I'm asking how.
No, what happens to Einstein's equations of relativity at the beginning of the Big Bang? I'm asking a simple question.
They break down, right?
Okay, excellent. So they break
Yeah.
down. So we don't
Yeah.
really know how the Big Bang happened, correct?
That's what I started with. We don't know.
Okay. So then we don't really know how matter comes about.
What?
If you need a singularity in order to create matter in the first place, that's like believing in God. It doesn't
No, it is
exist.
not. No, it is not, because we have evidence that the Big Bang did happen. The fact that we don't know how it happened is immaterial to the question of whether matter exists or not. Matter
So
exists. It is verifiable. We know that matter exists. We don't know how the Big Bang happened. From
what is the
since the Big Bang
evidence that the
happened till now, what is the
what is
evidence
the
for what?
evidence that the what is the evidence that the Big Bang happened?
Mostly cosmic microwave background radiation that can be traced back to a single point in space-time.
Cosmic microwave background radiation. Have you studied the cosmic microwave background radiation? How it
I have read
looks
some.
in the sky
I have
and its
read some
history?
books by
Okay.
scientists who have studied it.
Have you heard about the
Again,
axis of evil?
I would like to remind everyone that you are not a physicist. You have had an Ivy League education in a field that is not physics, and you are disagreeing with physicists who have spent their entire lives
I'm not
studying this sort of
disagreeing
thing.
with physicists. Have you heard about the axis of evil? It's a physics term. Have you heard about that? We talked about cosmic
Axis of
microwave
evil was
background.
axis of evil.
Yes, axis of evil. It's a physics term. Have you heard of it?
I actually have not.
Okay, let me tell
I
you
thought
what
that
it
was
is.
something.
Let me
Hold on,
let
let
me
me
tell
search.
you.
No, let me
Yeah,
search.
yeah,
Axis of evil.
yeah. Look up Max Tegmark. Max Tegmark, I hope you think is a scientist. He's
Axis
a
of evil
scientist in
was
MIT.
first used by
Mhm.
U.S. President George W. Bush organically refer to Iran, Iraq, and North Korea. As case of
Okay.
evil, cosmology is a name given to an apparent correlation between the plane of the solar system and aspects of the cosmic microwave background. It gives the plane of the solar system and hence the location of Earth a greater significance than might be expected by chance, a result which has been claimed to be evidence of a departure from the Copernican principle as assumed in the concordance model. ये सब मेरे सिर के ऊपर से गया. What is your point?
Okay. The point is, Vimo, that if you look at the cosmic microwave background, you find two axes in the cosmic microwave. It is not uniform as the Big Bang theory predicts. It is
So can
non-uniform.
we conclude that maybe the Big Bang did not happen, or is the conclusion that more than one Big Bang could have happened?
No. Okay, let's talk about more than one Big Bang in just a minute. But my original question was, how do you know the Big Bang happened? And you said the cosmic microwave background is evidence of that. And I'm giving you evidence that scientists have confirmed over 50 years with different satellites
Chinmay,
of
let me ask you
increasing
a very
power.
simple question. Let me ask you a very
Yes.
simple question.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, the things that you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about are by
Mm-hmm.
some scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a, like, if I went out and asked 10 physicists, hey, did the Big Bang
Mm-hmm.
happen? What would they say?
If you ask 10 physicists in India who use textbooks, just like you and me,
If I
right?
asked 10 physicists all over the world, I didn't say
If you
India.
ask Max Tegmark, let's say for
Max
example,
Tegmark nahi, if I ask 10 physicists, did the Big Bang happen? What
no,
would they say?
listen, I'm using words, I'm using names that are extremely respected scientists, okay?
Though
Max
that's called
Tegmark,
an argument
Roger
from authority,
Penrose.
sir. That is a logical fallacy known as
But you are,
argument from authority. I am
okay.
not catering to, I'm not pointing out the authority of any single scientist. I am talking about the scientific consensus about the most probable way that we know the universe came into being. By the way, this conversation has gone way off the rails because we started talking about materialism. If you say that the Big Bang did
Mhm.
not happen, you tell me what is your idea about where matter came from.
No, I don't know the answer, but when materialists say that they know that matter exists and they know how matter came from, it shows a certain amount of arrogance that is not justified by the
No,
science.
that's what scientists say, that matter was created at the point of the Big Bang and that is where it came from. That is what I'm going with. You are not a physicist, regardless of your Ivy League education. You telling me that all the scientists are wrong about something, and one scientist who seems to fit your worldview is the only one who should be taken seriously, does not strike me as the best possible method to go forward.
So we are choosing which scientists we want to quote. Is that what you're saying?
Which scientist did I quote?
You didn't. That's my point. I quoted two, but you didn't quote even one. That's my point.
Are you okay? Listen, this is not rocket science, by the way. Are you
Right.
saying that most
Yeah.
scientists think that the Big Bang did not happen?
Most scientists will tell you that they are not sure. They don't know how the
About the
universe
Big
came
Bang
about.
happening or matter existing?
See, the word Big Bang
Most scientists
itself
will tell you,
is
like,
not a
no,
technical term.
I'm going to hold you on to this. Most
Yeah.
scientists will say that they are not sure if the Big Bang happened. Is that what you're saying?
No, so most scientists will then define Big Bang first, and you're not
Will
defining it.
most scientists say that the Big Bang did not happen?
See, my point is most scientists' definition of Big Bang is different from each other. They are not using the same definition. Some scientists will tell you that the Big Bang the universe
So
can be
let me give you the
explained.
definition of the
Yeah.
Big Bang as I understand it, and
Okay,
you
go
tell
ahead.
me if most scientists will agree with me. The Big Bang was a point, the Big Bang was an event where space and time began to expand, and it was the point from which what we know to be the known universe came into being with all the matter and energy into it. Will
That is
you,
not the
if I go
definition
and
of
if
Big
I
Bang.
take this definition to most scientists, will they say that this did not happen and they are unsure about it?
I would challenge you take this definition to any Ivy League or any Indian IIT scientist, any good scientist, not your friends, and find out. And you will see the answer is no,
Okay,
because your
cool.
definition is wrong.
Take it. So what is your definition of the Big Bang?
I don't have a definition. I don't think it makes any sense because until you know how it actually began, you can't even call it a Big Bang. What is a Big Bang? A Big Bang is something that comes into
What is
existence
your
from nothing.
cosmology, Chinmay? Chinmay, hold on. What is your cosmology? If the Big Bang didn't happen, what is the alternative for, like, is it steady state or is it something else?
So, to be honest with you, I have looked at all the models of cosmology,
All of
including
them.
the, yes, all the
Okay.
existing well-known models of cosmology, right?
Okay.
So one is the Big Bang. That's one model. There's an infinite universe model where the universe exists for a long time, and this is something that Einstein believed, for instance, right, back in the day. Then there is
Hmm.
the cyclic cosmology of Roger Penrose, for example,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he has that new theory.
Got it. Got it.
So
There are a bunch of
I
models and you have
there
studied
are
about them.
different,
So which one
but those
seems
are
most likely to you?
materialist. I don't think any of them are most likely, because they're all, they none of them explain how it all began in the first place, right? They either
Chinmay, do
have
you
an
think you are
infinite,
Chinmay, do you think
yeah,
one requires like someone needs a certain kind of education in order to have an educated opinion about all of this?
someone needs some kind of an
Like
education.
suppose
I
if
mean,
someone
that's a
if
very
someone
vague
took
term.
Roger Penrose's model or the Big Bang model or the steady state theory model and put it in front of someone, do you think it is more likely that someone who is qualified in these subjects can have a better opinion about these things than someone who is not?
It depends on what you mean by qualification. I've seen a lot of
I mean
physicists.
physics. I mean someone who's a physicist.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. There's a lot of college educated physicists who have a sort of religious view of things. They believe
And
in
you
the
don't?
holy book of some
And you
kind.
don't? And you don't?
No, I don't.
You don't have any religious views.
No, I don't.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So no, you had me fooled when you defended Hinduism in the beginning. So yeah, that's why. But go on.
No, that's because I think that so there's a lot of misunderstanding about what it means, what these terms mean. Hinduism itself is a new term, so I don't like it when people use it, then associate it with religion.
I
It's a
prefer
recent term.
Brahmanism. I prefer Brahmanism because the Brahmins were the ones who imposed this system on us. But that's a
Now,
different matter.
let
Go
me
on.
ask you about
Go on.
Brahminism, actually. Let me ask you about that.
Wait, not
What is,
physics?
who,
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's not jump all
uh,
over the place. I have five other callers. I can't keep jumping to different topics with you. If you want to
okay,
talk
well,
about
we can talk
Brahmanism, come
about it
back next
later
time.
time. Yeah,
We can
because,
talk
yeah,
about
we'll
Brahmanism
talk
the
about
next
it
time you
next
come.
time.
Cool?
Next time, yeah.
Cool.
So
Cool.
what about science? You asked me, are you religious? I said no. What are the questions did you have about? I mean,
No, I just
my
find it a
my
little
yeah.
funny that someone who's not a physicist is calling physicists religious when they talk about physics.
The idea of
Because
dogma in
because I hope you
physics is an
understand
old
something.
old
You
idea.
could have been having this conversation with an actual physicist, right? You didn't. You came here to talk to someone who's not a physicist. Why?
See, physicists, like say the real smart ones, right? They tend to have these kinds of they tend to have less time, like on YouTube. They don't do like debates like this. They don't do live streams. They
They still do
usually have.
lectures. You can go to Oxford and you can go to Cambridge and you can join their lectures and you can ask questions. You have not done that, have you?
No, I have. I have gone to
Okay.
I have seen
Who
their
did you
lectures.
who did you speak with?
What do you mean? Who did I speak with online?
Name any physicists if you have spoken with them about this idea where you told them that you don't think that the Big Bang happened. What did they say?
Dude, like what I'm telling you is what they've actually said on YouTube videos personally. Like, why do I need to go and ask them again? Max
Which
Tegmark has talked
physicist?
about the axis of
Apart
events.
from Max Tegmark,
Roger
because
Penrose and his.
it seems like you talk to one guy.
Okay, here's something for you. Okay, maybe you and your callers could benefit from this. There is a series called Closer to Truth. I don't like the series a lot nowadays, but it's good for beginners. It has a series of interviews with various scientists, right? And
Hmm.
it goes into cosmology, cosmogony, how something comes from nothing, those kinds of questions that
Hmm.
end up getting to the bottom of things, right?
Hmm.
And it has interviews of Roger Penrose, Max Tegmark, all of these guys, and it's good beginning material for somebody who wants to explore what are the limits of what we understand right now through science, right? Through pure sort of materialist science. Nowadays, he also has some religious stuff, but ignoring that, if you focus on what he talks about with the interviews with scientists, I think that will be beneficial.
Okay, cool. I'll add it to my list. But I think
Yeah.
I want to move on to the next caller now. Is
Well,
okay?
have fun. Thank you. Bye bye.
Chalo. Bye bye. What a completely useless conversation.